welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is once again your boy, the man, NJ to the City, with the number 2 and TO, me, NJ to the City. Now, once again, more and more, the viewpoints, topics to go over. That's why I do not know how many episodes I might post over the next 24, 48 hours. But I know I have a lot of topics to, talk about, and let's get into them. Now, one of the things I'm going to say is I'm continuously always writing new music. Even if I'm not writing it down on, with the pen and paper, I'm writing them either in my head or I'm writing them on my phone, on my iPad. Like, I'm always working on new music for, everybody. I'm always doing that. And you got to realize, other than, like I say, the big point of me always working on music is one of the biggest reasons why is because you got to realize, again, my musical influences. I can come up with new titles automatically over anything. And you have to realize that about who I am. I'm very articulate and very smart and very talented to where I come up with new song titles out of any and everything. And when I say any and everything, I really mean any and everything can I come up with new song titles out of. I can scrap one song and probably come up with like 4 or 5 song titles out of that one song. I can look at a street sign, I can look at a street sign, an address and scrap 2 or 3 song titles off of that. I can make a song title off the numbers on a street address. I can write a song title based upon the numbers, or I can do that. I can make the numbers on that street sign, numbers on that address. I can make that into song titles. I can turn the entire address into 2 or 3 different songs right there. Or as I start writing, if I see as many connections as I usually do, I can take those 2 or 3, things from that address and come up with I'm gonna say 10. First number was 10, second number was 5, but I'm gonna say definitely I can come up with a lot. Definitely within 10, I can come up with 10, based upon my wordplay and how I word things and stuff like that. I can come up with 5, 10, maybe even 15 or 20 song titles off of these street signs, addresses, and stuff like that. That's just how my creativity, with my imagination, and the articulate way of which I I analyze things go, and so forth and so forth. But new music, like I said, the reason why one of the top reasons why I'm always working on new music, ladies and gentlemen, is because I'm grabbing inspiration from any and everywhere. That's one of the top reasons and ways how it's gone is the way, because I can legitimately come up with new song titles out of any and everything. My inspiration comes from any and everywhere, legitimately. And any and everywhere. And you gotta realize, it's about legacy for me. It's about, I'm 19 years old. I remind you this. I'm 19 years old. But when it comes to, and again, very much of a blessing, very much of a gift to be 19 years old. Once again, turned 19 this past June 11th because I was born in 1998. But I must remind you as well, this is all about legacy for me, all about power of influence for me, and all about definitely being put into that category of young MCs. Because when they talk about a Kodak, talk about a Lil Yachty, talk about all these other musicians, new and young upcoming musicians, I think to myself, hey, what about me? What about NJ to the City? I'm young, was 18, now I'm 19. Put me in that conversation. My pen game is raw. My delivery of it when it comes to my flows. Again, I'm always baking up new flows, always making up new flows. The flows, you definitely haven't heard a lot of those flows in other songs, but you definitely will hear them in new songs. Again, the flows, the pen game is raw. Flows are nice, I'm thinking to myself that, I deserve to be in that conversation, in that category of new and upcoming young MCs. And definitely, I look at it, if one of my biggest things of the next second half of this 2017 year is to do what I can to help myself and help my career to where I'm going to be now mentioning that conversation of new upcoming young MCs, because definitely that's what I am. My pen game is raw, these flows are nice, so forth and so forth. I can compete with a lot of these guys. When it comes to lyrics, I can compete with a lot of these guys. A lot of these guys, a lot of these girls, I can compete with them when it comes to my pen game and even these flows as well. I can compete with them, and I definitely believe that God will put me in those positions eventually to where, I'm going to have to prove it, and definitely, and that's, and I'm talking about, when it comes to flows and pen games, and I'm talking about when it comes like, when I talk about God putting me in those positions to prove it, I'm telling you, I'm saying God's going to put me in those positions, amongst other people, whether I'm at school, whether I'm, out and about at Publix, or wherever I am, in a public vicinity, a public place where where I have some of my mutual friends, and they want to hear me rap, or they want to hear me freestyle. They want to hear they want to hear some of my new music, or I'm amongst this and that other upcoming rapper, upcoming singer. That's what I mean by God's gonna put me in those positions to to prove my skill, prove my talent, and as well like say I'm hanging out with say I'm at a radio station, or I'm I'm amongst those people who are put in those positions of to find new talent, and promote them. That's pretty much what I'm saying. I do believe God's gonna gift me those opportunities eventually in due time, over time, to prove that hey, He has the talent, He has the skill, He has the He has the creativity, to make it here and to own it and to create a very big impact on the culture and stuff like that. But like I say, it is all about legacy, it's about power of influence, and it's about doing what I can to help shape the culture towards a better tomorrow for all. That is legitimately what it is top dog about, is doing what I can to help shape and change and mold and move the culture towards a better, more positive direction for all. Jesus above all. When you are spiritually saved and aware of what it means to ball. As faith, hope, and love are my morals. God first, God knows. Once they're unashamed, God knows me. Simple as that. So once again, this is a 7-minute video. I think what I've mainly been talking about is, me being a young MC and what I have to bring to the culture and so forth and so forth, and how this is about legacy, power of influence, and shifting the culture and stuff like that. So yeah, 8 minutes. I got a lot of topics to discuss, ladies and gentlemen. Again, Power of Influence album and Heart and Soul R&B album. Those are still yet to come out. But again, keep patience with me, because I see all these other MCs dropping, all these other groups dropping. So be patient with me. Keep being patient with me. It's coming. Because I have had a few people asking me about new music, and yeah, the last thing I dropped was the last thing I dropped and finalized was my Memorial Day album of The Viewpoints Part 2. That was the last thing I dropped and finalized. I guess 2 weeks after that, you were supposed to hear Heart and Soul and Power of Influence, but just know that, like I say, I'm continuously cooking up more and more music. Ladies and gentlemen, I have enough ammo for the next 3, 4, 5 albums. I have enough ammo for a lot of stuff. Next 3, 4 albums. I got. I'm continuously recording. I'm continuously writing. So keep the faith in me and my career. Keep the faith in more new music dropping. Keep the faith in the quality. Keep the faith in the prestige. Keep the faith in everything. God first knows. You guys knows. You guys know what's up. So yeah, Power of Influence and Heart and Soul R&B album. Like I said, I see all these other artists that are dropping. I see Lecrae about to probably drop an album. He thinks he said September. He said on Hard Knock TV, probably coming in September. So I see he's about to drop a new album. I see Jay-Z dropped an album titled 444. I see Kanye West working on an album. I see artists like Lorde, Lorde. Even though when she first came out, I call her Lordy. But, you know, I see She's coming out with, you know, new music. Her new album was titled Melodrama, I believe so. So yeah, I see that Lord is coming out with new music. I see Kesha coming out with new music. I see a lot of these artists coming out with new music. Most predominantly, most preferably, I see SZA coming out with new music. I see that artist named Her coming out with new music. I see that artist named Seven Streeter coming out with new music. I think I see Playboy Cardi came out with new music. I believe that was like May came out with new music. But, you know, I see all these people coming out with new music. I see Nickelback came out with a new album titled Feed the Machine. I see, trying to think of some other artists. I think that group name is Mia, I think, or Mia H. Yeah, you know, MIAH. A girl group, 3 girls. A girl group made up of 3 girls. I haven't listened to their album yet, but I see they came out with a new album, and yeah, like I said, I see all these people coming out with new music. I see French Montana has that song with Sway Lee, and he got a new album coming out. You know, I see all these people dropping, ladies and gentlemen. I see all these people dropping, and I see that, you know, it's like saying, yo, NJ, where you at? You know, like, don't you have, you know, Heart and Soul, Power of Influence? You're supposed to come out, like, you're supposed to come out with these 2 new albums, like, why, like you've been stalling them, so, you know, pretty much twice now. We said it was going to come out on your birthday, and then you said 4th of July. You know, they still ain't out, so, you know, what's going on? Again, people just know, like, again, you know, God knows the same approach that I have towards these 2 albums are the same approach that I somewhat have. You know, at least when it comes to the late releases, it's the same approach that I had towards I don't know which album that was, but I think it was the new 2016 Perspectives Phenomenal 4. I think it was either that album or some other album that I had either earlier this year or last year that I had posted on Snapchat saying that I needed to make time to finish this album up. I don't know whether that was this year or last year, but I posted it on my Snapchat saying I need to make time to finish this album. And it's the same thing with Power of Influence and Heart and Soul. Like, God knows I've been working. I have not been working as like sharply as I could. Like, I haven't been completely locked in as much as I could, but I have been working on both albums. I'm trying to make sure that I'm not forcing these beats. Is one of the things you got to realize, ladies and gentlemen. That's really the top album hold up. Is you got to realize I'm trying to make sure I'm not forcing any of these beats on these songs. And you probably like, Nate, what does forcing beats mean on songs? That means it's like, you know, that means it's like, sure, the flow fits for like the first 10-20 seconds, but after that it goes like, okay, it fits, then it doesn't, fits, then it doesn't, fits, then it doesn't. You know, that's what I mean about forcing beats on songs. It's like it doesn't really, you know, it's like the flow doesn't really fit the beat, but the beat's nice though. The beat's nice, but the flow don't fit the beat. I'm trying my best not to force beats on songs. I'm trying my best, because I'm telling you, when all y'all hear this, when all y'all hear my new work, I want y'all to be like, okay. This is what we've been waiting for. We've been waiting for this good lyricism, the good flows. We've been waiting for this. I want y'all to be like, okay, bravo, NJ, bravo. I want y'all to be, you know, like that, and be like, you know what, these were 2 projects that were worth waiting for. That's what I want. That's the impact that I want both of these 2 new albums, and even future albums, like the next 4 or 5 albums, you know, to, you know, really any other album for the rest of my career. I want y'all to realize, I want y'all to hear it and be like, okay, this was worth waiting for. You know, thank you, NJ. This was worth waiting for. You're really doing your thing, shifting the culture, owning your talents, like that. I don't want to just put it out to be putting it out. The next thing I know, you know, people be like, NJ, really? Like, dude, you could have done better than this. This is garbage. Like, dude, the beats don't go with your flows are off. It sounds like you're talking more than anything in these tracks. Like, I don't want people to be like, Nate, it sounds like you're talking in this track instead of rapping, or talking more than anything in this track, you know? You know, or you're rapping, but the flow doesn't go with the beat. I don't, you know, people be like, you know, being off beat. I don't want y'all to have that type of listening experience when you listen to my music, any of my new music. So once again, more Talk Entertainment coming soon. Thank y'all. Peace.